And here we are. I cannot believe myself. I am absolutely going out of my mind today, folks. Well, one was trying to get this thing to go live on Facebook again, and I just got it. I mean, just like not even 30 seconds ago. Let me see if I can get this thing adjusted right. So, and it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And that's good enough for them. Just as long as you can say hello, how do you do, what's going on? And let's start the good old machines recording here. There's quite a bit going on in the system today. But wow, did a lot of things happen over the weekend, or last night actually, because of the rain here in Las Vegas. A lot of windstorms, so when I was driving in, I couldn't believe there was actually telephone poles ripped down. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. The trucks roll out in force. There's like 4 telephone poles just broken off at the base, snapped right off. Good thing it was below my power grid, so I didn't lose any power last night. But I know a lot of people are out of electricity this morning, that's for sure. So, yes, and if you're watching me on Facebook and you want to hear on the flip side, it's the Rebel HD2.com, and you can listen to me on the internet that way too. I'm also trying to talk, I was talking to a friend of mine, Scott, about podcasting, and let's see what we got going on here. Tony left the phone on. Okay, so everybody's listening to what's going on. I just hung up on somebody if that was somebody calling in, but it wasn't flashing. So let me catch my breath. We're sitting about 90 degrees on the outside. Let me just do a refresh on that. It says 93 degrees now. It is going to be a humid one and muggy on the outside. All right, are we going to get right into this, or what are we going to do? Has the media absolutely gone off the deep end on this? I can't believe this. This is driving me crazy. Trump has a meeting with Russia, okay, with Putin. And the press and a lot of the left-wingers and even some of the Republicans are saying, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. He is our president, for God's sake. He is supposed to do this. He is supposed to talk to the leaders of other countries, both friendly and enemies. How else do you keep people from pushing the button? Are you people crazy not to allow him? The press wanted to go out and taunt him into being cruel to Putin right off the bat so they could have something to talk about on television. And you know for a fact, if he took their advice and not had that meeting, they'd be all over him because he didn't have that meeting. There is no way this man can do something right in the eyes of the left and the mainstream media. There is no way. None. Absolutely none. So my advice to everybody that's listening out there and doing it, to heck with all the media, to heck with all the left and everybody else. Trump, do your thing. Get in there, get it done, do it. Because they're going to come after you no matter what they are. I did a meme this weekend. And it was called the Trump derangement syndrome. And what I used was the Moby Dick. Okay? And it was a picture of Captain Ahab strapped to the back of Moby Dick, the ending scene of that, where he's yelling and screaming at the whale with a harpoon trying to kill it. And that's just exactly what it is. The media is Captain Ahab so obsessed and bent on destruction that they're not going to win anyway. Their evil hatred is something that is just unprecedented. I have never seen anything like this in the history of my life during elections. The hatred and the vileness, and that came across during the View with Whoopie. Now, I've met and worked with Whoopie before on the set of Boys on the Side when she was there. She was a nice person at that time. And I could not see that woman in those clips from The View. I could not connect the two. It was unbelievable. She was so vile about Judge the judge's book, Liars. I got to pull up her book because it's going to be a good book. And that's another one of the books I want to mention out today too. So, Tony, what are you doing watching Facebook Live, man? You're on Facebook. You just left here. You're supposed to go take care of business. Take care of business. Yep, you're live this time. Jeez, I tell you. So anyway, Judge Jeannie Pereira. Let's see what her book's there. Liars or something like that. Come on, promote her book. Come on, where's her book promotion? This is another thing. You can't go right to what you're looking for on Google or Wikipedia or anything else. You've got all this other junk you've got to filter through. Just trying to find the information, because I swear to God, they block a lot of this stuff and manipulate it. Let's go book. And book signing. There it is. Liars, Leakers, and Liberals. That's the name of her book. And she's just unbelievable. All right. Tony, if you're going to yak so much on Facebook, why don't you just stay in the studio? Just kidding. I know you had things to take care. Anyway, it's just absolutely amazing. Oh, I can also see where some of the liberal folks that I have associated with popped on when I started talking about Whoopie and everything. They logged right off again. I guess I'm really making a lot of friends today. That's all there is to it. But I'm so sick and tired of the mainstream media and the left and the hysteria they're going through. All right, back to what the Trump meeting in Russia. Okay, the man has been in office. This is the first time he's talking to Putin. Well, not according to Mueller's team, but the first time he's talking to Putin as the president and getting things organized. There's a lot of issues going on, and when the press wants to have them in a fist fight right there so they can have some blood on their hands and say, look what's going on. Ooh, isn't that right? No. My God. Do you people really want a nuclear war? Is that what you're really wanting from this? Is to have both countries start pushing buttons just so you can sit there and say, I told you so, I told you so. I am so sick and tired of it. And they won't catch him a break, but now they're asking for all the transcripts of their private meeting they had. Buddy boy, I'm telling you right now, if you guys are going to demand the private transcripts of Trump's meeting with Putin, you better hold on to your horses, because even asking that gives everybody the right to get every transcript, private transcript, the left and the Democrats have ever had, including all Obama's little doodads and Hillary's little doodads throughout yes, yeah. So if you want it, it's all for one and one for all. No, there isn't no pick and choose of how you want to do that. I am so livid at the hysteria that the people are buying into from the media. They have no idea what was going on with this conversation, and they prejudged before he went into the meeting. They prejudged after the meeting. They're demanding all this stuff. Who are they to demand? Who is the press to demand? They keep on hooting and hollering saying, well, we have the right to free speech. Yes, you do have the right to free speech. You also have the right to lie your backsides off, too. So, lie away all you want, but you don't have a right to demand stuff that's national security until it's secure. How dare you? I mean, seriously, how dare you even demand such things like that? Now, calming it down a little bit. You're also idiots. The mainstream media and the Democrats and the liberals are complete idiots for even doing this. Because I can already tell you right now that Trump is 10 moves ahead of you guys. And you see something, you jump on it with both feet and you scream and holler, and then something goes wrong, and now you got to backtrack all the time. This man is not a checkers player. This man is a chess player. He's getting his pieces into position. Look what he just did. He sent like $200 million over to Ukraine's military to help them fight against Russia. Now, if that doesn't make Putin all bent out of shape, nothing else will. Something else people aren't thinking about. What Trump did with NATO had all those countries pony up money to help pay for NATO. Guess what? All those countries are against Putin. Putin doesn't want those people having money to build their military forces up again. He's putting missiles back in Poland again, from what I'm understanding. I got to dig into that a little bit more too. All this stuff is behind the scenes, but yet you're worried about him saying would or wouldn't on a press conference, and you're jumping down his throat so fast that you don't care about what the meeting was. You just care about collusion. Oh, Russia interference with collusion. Well, my dear, what about Obama colluding to have Netanyahu overthrown in Israel's election? Okay, that was a biggie. How about Obama throwing money behind the Iranians for their elections, trying to manipulate their elections? Hillary was involved with all this too. Come on, people, get your act together. Why are you buying into this hysteria? And I do mean hysteria from the media like this. And if you buy into it, there's no hope, because you will become blinded. It's like getting to the dark side. Ooh, you're going into the dark side again. So all I know is the hysteria has gone off the deep end. And taking it back to Judge Jeannie Perillo, she deserves a huge apology from Whoopie and from the network. The simple fact is, you don't do that. You don't invite a guest on, and then I can understand doing the gotcha questions. Well, what about this? Oh, I got you. I caught you on that. You were a liar, blah, blah, blah. But to verbally, viciously, and venomously attack her, both on camera and then off camera, is way beyond ethical being. I mean, that to me outdid what's his face there. I'm telling you, my brain has gone so far off the deep end right now over this. I've become obsessed myself at calling out the hatred of Trump for no reason at all. The guy that was on the Oscars that, oh, Jiminy Christmas, man. Okay, what's his name? Oscars, the hatred, Oscars, hate, let's see what we got. No, I don't want Oscar Steakhouse. Come on. Nominees. What was the guy's name? Unbelievable. It was just on the tip of my tongue, too. Have you ever had that day where you have everything written down you want, and you bring up something and you want to remember, and it was right there. I'm going to sit there and cry all day. Nominations, awards, 2017 nominations. What is there? Oscar awards, speeches. Oh man, I tell you, I am so lost today, folks. I just don't know where to go anymore. It has gone to the deep end. When I also see friends of mine that are buying into the media hate, the hysteria, without actually looking into it and saying that this meeting that he had with Putin is a bad thing. I'm sorry, you're totally wrong. Completely wrong. Right down the line. Completely wrong. The reason is because you're not doing the research. You're not checking into it. You're buying into what the people want. I mean, you've got people stealing hats off of kids. You can't tell me that if there was a Navy SEAL walking down the street wearing a MAGA red hat, and you had one of these pink-haired, purple, liberal, left socialist grab the hat and throw it into the street, the guy's going to go, hey man, that's my hat. No. The guy would probably have chased him down and pounded him into the ground. I mean, it's gotten so bad as we're even back into the NFL with this kneeling junk. I'm telling you, if one player, you see how my brain has gone off onto major tangents today? This is crazy, Russ. What's going on? How in the world can anything make this country obsessed, both sides? Myself obsessed with what I'm doing now compared to what the left is doing on their side, being obsessed. It's like Obama started this divide. We didn't have the issues between separations of immigration problems and everything else. It looks like we've got a call coming in, maybe not. Let's try it and see what happens here. And this is KUNV. Rush, you're on the air. Yes, it is Jimmy Kimmel. Hey, what's up, Tom? What's going on, man? No. The guy that was doing the speech that was effing Trump, you know? Yeah, no, I know that, but he's been on the news like 10 million times. No, that's not the point. I don't watch the Oscars anyway. You're absolutely right. Don't watch the Oscars because it will go. Same thing with the music awards, too. Don't watch the music awards. But Robert De Niro, there we go. I got it. Robert De Niro. This man, the reason why I was trying to get with him is because Robert De Niro was just off-hinged on the Oscars. Okay? But his off-hinge was staged. He was up there protesting, trying to make a point, getting kudos. What Whoopie did was an actual vendetta, vileness against a human being. She hated Judge Jeannie Prio, just because she's a Trumper. Not because she's a woman or the right or the left. She hated her so much. All right, I got to take a quick break here, folks. We'll be right back in one moment here on KUNV. Hold on, Tom.
Hi, this is Joel Lieberman, Chair of the Criminal Justice Department at UNLV, located in Greenspan College of Urban Affairs. Are you interested in why people commit crimes? Would you like to study topics like terrorism, serial killers, delinquency, human sex trafficking? Have you thought about a career working in a police agency, correctional institution, or the court system? If this sounds like you, then come take classes with the nationally recognized faculty in the UNLV Criminal Justice Department. More information is available at kunv.org with click on UNLV.
Check out the Rebel HC2's Instagram account for your chance to win tickets to see J Boog and Atmosphere perform at the Mandalay Bay Beach on August 24th. J Boog fuses reggae, hip-hop, rock, and R&B and has released 3 full-length albums. Get all the details on Instagram at the Rebel HD2.
And you're listening to KUNV Las Vegas, Nevada, the Rebel HD2 broadcast services of the UNLV. This is Russell Mays. We have Tom on the phone right now. We're talking about do not watch the Oscars, or do not watch the MTV Music Awards, and have quite a few people popping on Facebook. I do have to apologize to the people that are watching and listening on Facebook, because when I go to a commercial, you probably can't hear the commercial on there, and I look dumb standing there looking at the camera going, hello, hello. Anyway, go for it, Tom. You were saying. We're... Oh, absolutely. They really do. Tom, I'm just sort of reiterating so the viewers can hear what he was just saying, that the media is predicating a lot of their information that the public is stupid of. They think they're the best people in the world. They know what's best for us, and they don't. And that's the reason why Trump is elected today as our president, is because they went out there and said that we know best for you. Hillary is the person. And the public went, no, that's not right. We want somebody that's going to take care of America to be there. And they're still fighting it. Right? Explain what do you mean? He's talking about the news strips that run across the bottom of the screen. Well, I don't understand what you're getting at. Oh, you mean the crawlers at the bottom of the screen? Well, that's just trying to get as much information out there as possible, and it's an information overload, is what it is. But how does that equate into the mental mindset of the media on the left, where they have hatred to no end? But also, you got to also understand the way the news is being done today. If you watch all shows, and it doesn't matter whether you're watching the fake news, CNN or Fox News or whatever it is, when they're doing news, this is happening today in such and such a place, tornado or whatever, one person stands up and does the news. That person is the news anchor. When you have a group of people sitting at a table, they're all commentators, and that's where the thing is people are taking these commentators, even on the Fox side. Fox is right-leaning, and of course they're going to have everybody for the right-leaning. CNN is left-leaning, and they lie all the time, but they will have their point of view on their side. Well, absolutely. Now, here's something else people don't realize. Did you know Walter Cronkite really kicked a lot of this off? And the day that he said during the Tet Offensive in Vietnam that the war is unwinnable, that's when he, one man, twisted this country right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Granted, I did not care for the Vietnam War because the politicians were fighting it. Just like it is today, the politicians are fighting the war, and they shouldn't. Let Mathis do his thing. Let him get out there. Let him fight this war. Let him kick butt, man. And that's the way I look at it. So it's just. Well, exactly. That's what they're here for. Even here, I mean, you can say, "Oh, move on, move on." But the thing about it is if people do not stand up for what is right in this country is going to be socialism all the way, and there is no such thing as the proverbial socialistic society. Thank you, thank you. That's exactly right. You have to get out and vote. Unless what they're doing in San Francisco now. Anybody can vote. Yeah, anybody can vote now. It doesn't matter if you're an American citizen or not. You can go in and vote for whoever. And they're passing this law. It hasn't passed yet, but it's something they're trying to do. That anybody that comes to this country, whether you're a citizen or not, you can vote. Boom. That's going to drive me nuts. It not at all. It's gone off the deep end here. That's a good point. It's been off the deep end for a long time. So just so you folks know that I'm on the phone with Tom, and he's a financial dude out there in the real world. And some of his things are there. I'll give you a quick question. They were talking about this Bitcoin thing here, just to get off topic a little bit. What do you think about Bitcoin? Do you have any involvement in that at all, or? Bitcoin is just, I think it's a fake currency that people are just using the transition. I have no idea. All I know is, well, the reason why just so you folks know that Tom says the fake currency might not last, which is very possible. But the fake currency was used to pay some of these proverbial Russian spies, and everybody was going nuts over this because you can have a trace on. They thought you could get in there, and if you buy with a Bitcoin or something like that, there would be no tracing it. There's more tracing that than there is cash. Yes, no matter what, so they can trace it and all that kind of good stuff. Tell me. Yeah, it's because it's the deep state. He wanted to know why all the public people are trying to jumping ship from Congress. Is because the deep state is in trouble. All right. Iran, the $1.2 billion on pallets. Oh, with no, there's no doubt about that. That's absolutely true. It went right into their pockets. It also went into the pockets of North Korea's nuclear weapons buildup, also into ISIS and Hezbollah, and also the Iranian people too. They use my question about that money that went to the Iran on pallets. Never in the history of human beings trading in that kind of volume of cash has anybody ever done it cash wise on a pallet before. It's usually like a wire transaction. Okay, we wired you the money. Here it is. It's in your account. Now you spend it. Never was it on pallets. And the only reason to put all that money on pallets is you cannot take it back. You, yeah, it is nuts. Why would you do it? And are you ready for this? Is it? How much cash can a country get? Oh, dude, I'm glad you brought that up, folks. I was going to bring up this new girl that's accusing Trump of indecencies in 2006 and the payoff, and the media went nuts on this because they have this recording, and this recording is going to bust Trump out and all these kind of problems that he's having. No, it didn't say anything about that. There was nothing there. My question about this is, that was 2006. And they're trying to get him to be accused of these sexual imbuscurities or whatever you want to call it. But wait a minute. Bill Clinton used the Oval Office. He also used the governor's office, too, when he was in Arkansas. And it's like, wait a second here. I was wondering if he ever had any time with Hillary. I'm just wondering if Chelsea's Hillary's daughter. Yeah, a lot of strange things happened with Bill Clinton. Which brings me up to the issue that I was talking about a little bit earlier. They want them to release the information that Putin and Trump had in their meeting. Okay. Well, let's get the transcripts of when Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton were on the tarmac. What was going on there? Oh, they're not going to talk about that. Oh, without a doubt. When did he show up at George W. Bush's? Was he the one that just shot the George W. Bush's doctor? Did you see that today? Yeah, that was just riding his bike to work. Let's really break that down, and I agree with you. It was a hit. And the reason is because he was riding his bike. Somebody else, they say, was riding another bike that rode up on him, shot him, and pedaled off. That right there was pre-planned. They knew that this doctor right there. I don't want to call this conspiracy now. This is all alleged and all unprovable at this point in time. But I'm sorry. You just don't come up and shoot a bicyclist like that. Not unless you know what they were doing. And he was a high-profile one, too, at that. So, well, maybe that's the reason why they did that, because they don't want him around much longer, too. So, since everybody else is happening here. Tom, I'm going to let you go, and please check in with us next weekend. Are you going on vacation this week or something like that? Okay, all right. Well, make sure you check in next week. I want to get in on some of this other stuff that's happening. I got some questions on Facebook that's being asked of me, so let me get to that. So, thanks for the call, man. I'll take care. Bye-bye now. And that was Tom. He was on the phone again. He's very well knowledged on his finances and what's happening in the world with the Deutsche Bank and stuff like that. Maybe we can get him in here one of these days. He doesn't want to come in. He just likes to talk on the phone, I guess. But anyway, one of the other things that I wanted to bring up is I just ordered the new book by Dinesh D'Souza, Death of a Nation. And I should get it by the 31st, so I want to read his book. But his movie's coming out August 3rd. This is going to twist people into 3 ways to China, too. So, excellent stuff. So make sure you check that out. Definitely pre-order your copy. I've gotten and read a lot of this man's materials, and he's right on the money down the line. And it's one of the reasons why they threw him in jail. And it's also one of the reasons why our man Trump pardoned him, too. Yeah, way to go, Trump. I love that. That was fantastic to you. Also, the phone number here is 702-895-3915. and quite a few people. Another question that was just asked on here, it looks like they're asking about what do I think about Joe Biden possible running for president. Rock and roll, baby. Go, go, go. Run for president. Fantastic. I guess Eric Holder wants to run for president, too. And all I know is when these people are wanting to do as run for president, do it. Keep your platform exactly the way it is. Your platform of hate. And that's exactly what it is. They hate everything that's going on. They don't want borders. They want everybody to pour into this. If you really think about this, with people coming across the border illegally, if you have open borders, just let them all in. How long will it take to get 7 billion people into the United States? Because you do not have any other country where people are trying to get in, no matter how, whether it's legally, illegally, however they're doing it, they want to come to the United States because of its opportunity to be better. Not because of its welfare, and that's what's going to happen. You don't see people trying to break into China or Russia or North Korea or anything like that. You have people trying to get into the United States because of the opportunity. If you're willing to get out there and bust your butt and do a good job, then you can make a success of yourself. But if you're going to come here to sit on your backside and do absolutely nothing and then hoot and holler demanding that it's like the vote thing that I was just talking about, what they're trying to do in California, where anybody and everybody that comes to the United States, whether you're a citizen or not, can vote. If you have a kid in school and you're a parent, they want you to be able to vote on the Board of Education, the people that run the board. Well, why do you have a kid in school if you're illegal? Okay, why don't you become an American citizen? What is wrong with that? There's people that have been illegal in this country 20 some odd years. It takes roughly about 8 years to get your citizenship. Ask Dinesh D'Souza. He's a legal citizen. He went through the process. Okay. From the last time I knew, I didn't know exactly what it was. It was about $8,000 for all the courses, the classes, the permits, and everything else to become a U.S. citizen. That's what I just off the cusp, because I have a friend that became a U.S. citizen a long time ago, and that's what she had to pay. Well, these people that are dying in these semi-tractor trailer trucks because of heat exhaustion being packed in there are being paid $10,000 to ride in the back of a truck? Dude, are you nuts? Just come to one of the consulates, take that 10 grand and start the process to become a U.S. citizen. Then you won't have a problem. Then you can come across and build a family, have a life. I mean, why would you want to go under all that anxiety and hoping to get across just so you can say, well, I'm in the United States here, and then you have to sweat every day, INS or ICE and everybody else comes. ICE is a whole nother thing there. That woman that did that new video about ISIS, and she was doing a play on words where she was saying ICE is evil, and she did a whole video of ICE running in and ripping fake baby dolls from a fake mother in an ISIS-looking get-up with the masks and the ISIS-style flag and everything else. Why are they allowing this? They should not allow this at all. It's for the simple fact is because when you have that gallery that had them beheading Trump as an art exhibit, If they did that to Obama, those people would be black bagged and sent to the what would they call black hole of Calcutta, and never be seen again somewhere. Holy good God, people, what is wrong with you? I mean, to actually be that vile. And then what's wrong with our government not pulling these people in and questioning them? They should have had Peter Fonda on the carpet instantly when he said that Trump should die. Oh, without a doubt. Drag them in. And just because he's a movie star? Please. Same thing with De Niro. Why didn't they bring him in? Why didn't they bring Kathy Griffin in? Why didn't they bring this woman in for wanting to kill people? Kill our president? What are you people wrong? Oh. Oh, getting a little hyper today, aren't you, Russ? Sometimes I do. It's just mind-boggling of what our country has become just because of the sheer hatred, and I do mean it started with Hillary Clinton. She thought, and the rest of her party believed, that the American people were too stupid to actually think that she deserved to be the president. No, she did not deserve to be the president. She deserved to run a campaign to become president. And if she didn't do her job, or if people do not think that she was a good person for the job, thank God the American people are smarter than she is. We would have been in a world. As a matter of fact, if she ever became president, none of these stories that are in the news right now would have actually been presented. It would have been rose-colored glasses for the world. Oh, everything's hunky-dory. Let's give a reset button to Russia. Let's give uranium to Russia. Let's have secret meetings on tarmac. Let's send another $1.2 billion to Iran. Let's bow down to the other countries. And that's why Trump has made so many people mad about NATO. He didn't bow down to them. They want our protection from Russia, and they're not paying for that protection, and we have to pony up just for that. And then they turn around and they want to get their oil from Russia, Germany. Come on, we can help you out. We'll supply you with that stuff. Let's get our act together. People, all I know is we have an election coming up, and it's, 3 months away? And thanks, Roger. Appreciate the little kudos there. It's so much so important that you get out and vote, because no matter what we do, the deep state representatives of our country also do not like Trump. That's the reason why they can't get anything passed. That is the only thing the Democrats have that the Republicans will probably never have. Blind loyalty. They are such lemmings that when Schumer or Pelosi says jump, they jump. Okay? And if they don't jump according to their views, then they're chastised and trying to throw out. Yep. Looks like they're going to force me into another little quick break here. It's going to be a shorty, I think. Anyway, this is Russell Mays, KUNV. Be right back.
Russell Mays, recipient of the Associated Press Citation Award for breaking news coverage, author of Fear Profits You Nothing and Tell 'Em Anything, holder of 2 patent pendings, awarded diplomas in architectural and mechanical engineering, certification in avionics and radar system operations and development, United States Air Force, diploma in film and television production and performance, winner of the Good Citizenship Award from the Daughters of the American Revolution.
And thank you very much. That was a quick voiceover by a friend of mine, Josh. And Josh did a good job for me on that. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. Oh, you're on board, too. Hey. Getting back to Trump, there's something that I found on the internet that was really, really interesting. Think about this, folks. Every politician that we've ever had always says that I'm running for the country. I'm for the people. I'm going to do a good job for the people. And when they get into office, they totally go against their views. They just told everybody until they're elected. Here's something that a lot of people haven't grasped yet. And this is one of the reasons why I back Trump so much. Is Trump the man that gave up his billionaire lifestyle? Think about this. He had a lifestyle of a billionaire, doing whatever he wants to, has a gorgeous wife, has a great family, very powerful industry going on worldwide. Just to be humiliated, ridiculed, and slandered in order to save the American people. Think about that. Let me read that again. Trump, the man that gave up his billionaire lifestyle to be humiliated, ridiculed, and slandered in order to save the American people. I still hear till this day that the only reason why he became president is so he can manipulate the other businesses so he can make a lot of money. The man's one of the top 50 richest men in the world. What else? I'm trying to get around that. Why would you put up with the vitriol, hatred, the slander of his family, the threatening of his children, just to save the American people? Why would somebody do that? Why? That's the question. Down deep inside, beyond all his Twitter mistakes, if he makes them, all his viewpoints, and he is a little bit egotistical. He has the American people at heart. He really, honest to God, wants America to succeed. He knows this is a great country. He knows that it can work really well. And everything he does is 3 steps ahead of the people that want to take it away from you. If you look at all the rhetoric that the media and the left are putting out there, it's all hate America. Let's divide America. Oh, you hate families. Oh, you don't want open borders. You shouldn't get all those tax breaks. We got to take your money away. We've got to raise taxes. You don't want that. You have to have Uncle Congressman to take care of you, to make sure you're doing well. Well, that doesn't work. It really doesn't, because to do well in this country, you have to be able to step up the plate and make a play. You have to put your name to the document. You can't be wishy-washy about this and then have something to do. It works for a while, there's no doubt. I mean, let's really do a comparison. Obama had 8 years. And if you remember how glorifying the press was of everything Obama did, oh my God, he was walking on rose-petaled, gold-colored floor, and they were kneeling at his presence every chance that came around. And it was just like, Obama, Obama, please save us from the world. And every chance you got, Obama was putting a spike or a wedge between the American people. He was dividing our country. And to be honest with you, if you ever read Solinsky's book on Rules for Radical, which Hillary Clinton did her thesis on in college, it states that this is what you have to do. And even though she didn't win the election against Obama, which really irked her, and then when Trump beat her, she just lost it. It even states in the Rules for Radical, if you can't get it forcefully, have somebody else do the work for you and then step in and clean up. And that's what she was hoping to do by winning the election against Trump. It's going to be an interesting election coming up November. I personally think that everybody should get out there and do their voting, because we need to overwhelm the House and the Senate with the Republicans. And the reason why I say that is because nothing will ever get done if we don't. If you think the Democrats need to overwhelm the House, then you better get out there and vote. Otherwise, it's going to be an interesting mix of things, because if we end up with the exact same numbers, you're going to have the same excuses all the time. You're going to have people like John McCain, sorry that he has such issues medical-wise, but if you're that medically incompetent, relinquish your seat and give it to somebody else. But if you're going to make statements against our president, then I'm sorry, your medical conditions do not have any bearing on whether I should call you an idiot or not. Same thing with Paul Ryan. People don't realize Paul Ryan's jumping ship also. And the man's 48 years old. And think about this. Paul Ryan pushed for an amendment that I don't think has passed yet, I'll have to double check, is to increase the retirement age to 70. Think about this. He wants the retirement age to be 70. But he's going to retire at 48 with a $175,000 pension for life. Ooh, I guess that really hurt him too. So, and I'm sorry, I have no faith in Paul Ryan at all. There's a lot of the politicians that are really trying to do right with this country, but they're being stopped by the people that are in control. And those that have been in control for a long time. That there is the deep state. So, what do you do? Anyway, got about less than a minute to go here on KUNV. I'm Russell Mays. I do love to rant now and then and enjoyed myself. I do thank everybody that jumped on, said hello on Facebook. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Same thing with the listeners on KUNV or the rebelhd2.com. Please check again. My webpage is radiorussell.net. Check it out. Shoot me an email. Say hello. How do you do? All I can say now is get ready for August 3rd when the movie comes out, Death of a Nation by Dinesh D'Souza. I'm going to see if I can get a guest in here next weekend. I think I have an idea. But my name is Russell Mays. We are listener-supported, 91.5, the Rebel HD2, KUNV, Las Vegas, Nevada, Broadcast Services.
7 nights a week, we are the Rebel HD2